Okay, everyone, let's get into this video. So the 66 Grammy Awards was last night with a lot of performances on stage, one of which was Burna Boy. I thought he did an amazing job with his performance yesterday. However, what people are talking about today is the award that was given to Tyla, who is a South African. She won Best African Music Awards over Burna Boy, Davido, Ayra Starr, Asake, and Olamide. I want you to take a look at her acceptance speech and the moment which she won. Take a look at this.
For Best African Music Performance, the nominees are Asake and Olamide, Burna Boy, Davido featuring Musa Keys, Ayra Starr, Tyla,
and the Grammy goes to Water, Tyla.
What the heck? What? Oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy. Like, I never thought I'd say I won a Grammy at 22 years old. Guys, like, if you don't know me, my name is Tyla. I'm from South Africa. And last year, God decided to change my whole life. So thank you so much to God. Thank you to my team, my family. I know my mother's crying somewhere in here. Thank you to the Recording Academy for this category. It's so important. And I know I'm forgetting some things, but I won a Grammy. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say congratulations to Tyla. I think that song Water was a great song, and she did amazingly well with that song. So congratulations to you, Tyla, for such an amazing song and accomplishments. Now, what I want to discuss today is what people are talking about in terms of Tyla winning over Davido, Burna Boy, artists who many are saying are more deserving of that award. And I want to focus on that because I think that a lot of people, while they are right in one sense, I want to also remind a lot of you that the Grammys isn't about the quality of your music in terms of the album sales or the talent behind the song. You see, the Grammys, for me, and from what I understand about the Grammys, is that the Grammys is more political than it is about really rewarding talent. And people fail to understand this. See, when you talk about the Academy, when you talk about the Oscars, which is owned by the Academy, is political, but focuses more on talent. So when you win the Oscars, one can look at it and say, wow, I can see why you won the Oscars. That actor or that actress really performed really well. And they really did an amazing job. You can kind of see it. You can look at the Oscars and you kind of see why such and such won, which is why the Oscars has always been given a higher weight and respect. But when you look at the Grammys is more political and is all about the money. The Grammys is all about trying to be relevant. They're not different from any other one who's cloud chasing. That's the Grammys. Even Harvey Mason, the CEO, said it last year that they've not always been relevant. So they're always looking for eyeballs. They're always looking for advertising dollars. They're always looking for audience. That's the Grammys. And so when the Grammys decided to create a category for Afrobeat, the reason they did that, and many people miss this, has less to do with the Grammys wanting to promote African music, but more to do with wanting to gain the African audience. I want you to hear this right now because this is important for you to understand this. The Grammys is all about cloud chasing. When Harvey said that they haven't always been relevant when he went to Ghana, remember a couple of years when he went to Ghana? And he was talking to a few Afrobeat artists and they were trying to figure out what categories to call this. And he said that many of you missed this. The Grammys is looking for relevancy. See, the Grammy has been losing a lot of viewers in terms of viewers that have been dropping off due to the fact that hip hop isn't relevant anymore. See, the hip hop audience brought the black eyeball, the black audience, the black ratings, the hip hop did that. Because hip hop has been falling off and hip hop has not been relevant, you find that that audience has been really losing interest with the Grammys. The Grammys needed to do something to really attract black audience again. And so when Afrobeat began popping up in Africa and was big in Africa, they saw that as an opportunity to build a category so they can get those eyeballs. Understand this as it. The Grammys is all about representing the audience in the room. Okay? They're all about representing the audience in the room in the United States. In other words, they want to be sure that they are diversifying their audience to where they're appealing to what their audience are moving towards. For example, let me give you an example. If the audience in the room are 60% women and 40% men, guess who's going to win the Grammys? Women. If the audience in the room are, a huge representation of the alphabet community, more than straight community, guess who's going to win the Grammys? The alphabet community. If the audience in the room are, from a particular type of community and the Grammys wants to appeal to that community, you get my point. So the Grammys is all about appealing to the growing audience or getting as much eyeballs or inclusion in their community. It has less to do with the skills or the talent or the quality of the music. It's very subjective. So it's whatever the voting members that are part of the academy, the recording academy, in this case the Grammys, is whatever their opinions are and where they're trying to take their whole organization and who they're trying to include. That is what they're going to do. See, the Grammys, as well as the Oscars, a couple of years ago, came out with a new memo, which they include, and a new philosophy, which they pushed out in a press release that now would govern anyone who wants to be part of either the Oscar or the Grammys have to follow these philosophy. And that includes DEI, ESG, and CSR. DEI is basically diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay? These things are a way for the Grammys to ensure that they are including certain groups that they believe are marginalized or are excluded from society. So you find a lot of people seeing the Grammys now or the Oscars and movies, including a lot of either the alphabet community in it, or you find a lot of movies like the Marvel movies having some kind of what many people call woke agenda, where they're including certain types of, a group that they feel are marginalized. And these movies are flopping at the box office because people are seeing things and seeing through this. Understand that there is an agenda behind these types of things. So when the Grammys gives Tyler the award over Afrobeat artists like Burna Boy, understand that while Tyler is an amazing artist, talented artist, understand there's a larger agenda behind her win. You see, I am one that accepts a win and a loss. So not every year Afrobeat artists are going to win. Not every year Afrobeat artists are going to be represented. So you're just going to have to take the good and the bad. But what I think most of us are missing is the fact that we are focused on these white institutions to validate your artist and to validate our music. The fact that many Nigerians and people are upset today, right, is very telling, because when Afrobeat was discovered, Afrobeat became huge without the Grammys or any of these awards. You see, they came to us, right, because we were big. Afrobeat, there are two music genres that have been successful, two music black genres that have historically been successful without white people's influence in the early stage. These two were reggae and now Afrobeat. See, when reggae was starting back with Bob Marley, reggae was huge with Bob Marley. The later part of reggae, had white people, just like what we're seeing with Afrobeat right now. But reggae was huge, right? Afrobeat also was huge in Africa without white people's influence, right? These two music genres. Now, what is consistent with these two music genres is that these two music genres became very successful in their country, and then they handed the success and the platform to the West and to white people. So Afrobeat artists becoming so huge and so mighty, we then leave our prestige and the essence of our music, and then we hand it over to a white institution, and we get mad about it when they don't include us in their categories or in their win, or they play politics with our music. Because we shouldn't allow a white institution like the Grammys, however how big the Grammys is, to dictate the essence, the quality, the strength, or the popularity of our music because one person did not win an award. Do you understand this? Because their agenda will always serve their interest. You see, one of you sent me an article, and I want to show you this article because I want you to understand what's going on. It's a bigger picture, because Afrobeat represents black music. And just like they destroyed hip hop because they couldn't stand to see hip hop, a black music genre like hip hop once upon a time, be successful, something that black people created and black people popularized. Reggae, the same thing. Afrobeat is a new black oil machine. And in an attempt to take this away from Nigerians, because understand Nigeria, there is a huge upset. You upset a lot of people when you came up with Afrobeat and popularized it without the men behind the curtain really saying or having a say so. I mentioned that these two music genres, reggae and Afrobeat, were the only two things that didn't have white influence on it to make it big and successful. You've got a bullseye behind your back. There is a hidden agenda to take this away from you and give it to a different country. South Africa is that country that is being looked at now in Africa as a country that white folks are okay with to give the prestige to. If you don't know what is going on right now, I need you to pay attention. I want you to take a listen to this article that one of you sent to me. And I want you to take a look at what this says. Afrobeat now is becoming part of pop culture. Now look at who is put in the cover of this article. Tyler. This was written on February 2nd. The same Tyler that just won the Grammys. You're not paying attention. I need you to wake up. Because you're telling me that Afrobeat, which was started by Nigerians, popularized by Nigerians, and the biggest artists today are Nigerians, they found one artist whose first song, right? First song hit the charts. They find that to be the face of a genre that has been for years. Are you kidding me? And this is a BBC article. Now, Tyler is talented. She deserves her kudos, and I congratulate her on the win. But this is beyond Tyler. This is beyond the Grammys. This is an agenda to ensure that you, who started the music genre, who is hated by a lot of people, they want to take the wind off of you. And it's sad that they're already getting some of your artists and some of our artists to do this work for them. You see, when you're focused too much on the Grammys and you abandon the Hades, which is something that we should be putting our effort into, because there's no reason why Africa should not have, the type of awards show like the Grammys. Nigerian artists and African artists should be pushing Hades awards, and popularizing that, because Afrobeat is our music. When you're going to a Western white established institution and you're hoping that they treat you fair, you've not been paying attention. You've not been paying attention. You're selling your birthright and you're selling your talent at cheap. Because the Grammys is going to do what the Grammys is going to do. Their agenda is to ensure that their community always gets a priority. Their agenda will be to represent the community base that they want to represent. And whatever that is what they choose to represent. And from what I've seen in the Grammys, it has always leaned towards a particular culture, a particular demographic, a particular skin culture. That's Grammys. Once in a while, they have one of us in there. Once in a while, they'll put to show that they're trying to be diverse, but mostly it always leans towards a certain type of demographic. But you chose Grammys to go and you handed over your music genre over to them. Now, again, I talked about the Grammys being relevant, right? They knew all along, last year probably, who they were going to go with, because they're trying to diversify their audience. They're trying to include certain type of people in their audience. Tyla and her generation perhaps represent what the Grammys is trying to lean towards. So they needed to put Burna Boy in the category. They needed to put Asake in the category, Davido, Ayra Starr. These are because they are bringing a huge audience with them who are going to watch the Grammys. It's a game. It's a business move. They knew last year when they announced the nominees, they knew who was going to win. They didn't need people to vote. They knew what they were going to go with. Your vote didn't... You could vote, but they knew what they want to go with. So when Tyla won yesterday over these songs, to me personally, the Grammys missed that one. Because again, that's only if you're judging it based on the merit of the song. Okay, if you're judging it based on the merit of the song, the quality of the song, there's no way when you're going up against those people, there's no way. But that's not what the Grammys is about. It's a business. Okay, they want our audience. They want to appear to show a type of demographic. They want to appear to show a type of, that's where the Grammys is. You have to understand this, right? So I wasn't shocked at this, because you're going to see more and more of this. Because you're going to see more and more of this in the future. Because in the future, if somehow Davido, Burna Boy, Asake, Tiwa's, Wizkid go up against a one artist in the future that is from the alphabet community, guess who's going to win? Yeah, you guessed it. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So they will use Davido and they will use you to pull the crowd in, because they understand that you come with a following, and they'll put you in a category. So next year, when you see this happen, understand that this is part of what the Grammy represent. It's all about eyeballs, all about trying to be relevant. It's all about making sure that they are representing what they feel society is moving towards, and it's less about the talent or the quality of the art. You get this? Now, if you don't like that, then you need to build your own institution and stop feeding into another country's or another institution or Western agenda. Because I think the Hades is over there. If you want something that gives you kudos for the quality of the art and the quality of the music and the quality of what your effort is, and judge you based on that and not by some kind of a hidden agenda, then it's time for Africa, Nigeria, to begin developing their own award show that we all can go and say, okay, yeah, there we go. It was judged properly. It was judged properly. And not something that's skewed towards some kind of hidden agenda that's tied and wrapped into a DEI score, ESG, or CSR, or one of those things that they've come up with now, because there is an agenda they need to fill. And that's what you saw last night. And so rather than Afrobeat artists to be mad, you need to understand how this business is operating, how you're being used as a pawn to fulfill a certain part of this. And if you don't wake up, right? If you don't wake up, you're going to fall for the okie doke. Like I've not been happy with some of these Afrobeat artists who have been abandoning their own music and jumping into a different country's music genre, building someone else's country. See, they will do that. They will use you to do that. So when you're seeing the Afrobeat artists now jumping and building them on piano, right? They want you to do that. They'll support that because essentially what they're trying to do is phase you out and give this whole thing to South Africa. South Africa is what I think a lot of people within that are in the West are looking to be the representation of African music. If you don't know this right now, you're not paying attention. South Africa is. Why South Africa? Because there's white people over there. There's white people over there. South Africa represents the type of whiteness or the type of black, I should say, that a lot of white people, men behind the curtain, are going to be comfortable with. Because the new black now is not me, right? The new black, if you haven't noticed right now, the new black, that white culture is starting to, I'm really bit more comfortable with, is a mixed black. It is not me. It's now being represented now in movies, is what you're seeing. So Tyla represents that. Tyla represents exactly that. That's what they're comfortable with now. That's what they want. So South Africa is the eyeball for them, because in South Africa, you're more likely to find out mixed race of black, which they can use. Why do you think Trevor Noah got was the host of that late night show that he had a couple of years ago? Why didn't they find someone like Kevin Hart to give it to? Why did they find someone like Dave Chappelle to give it to? There were many others. No, because to them, to white culture, that is what they have now defined to be the new black. And they're defining this for us right before our eyes, and we're sitting up here and letting them do this. So as long as you're looking for their approval, as long as you're looking for their validation, you're always going to dance to their music. I think Afrobeat had a very unique position. Afrobeat had an opportunity to do something different, because you founded a music genre that you built, you created, founded, and exported without the influence of this white culture. You had an opportunity to change the game. And for most part, you still do. But you're quickly losing that grip, because you're handing it over now to the white institution to begin to validate your music for you. You're letting them validate your music for us. They don't understand our culture. And they will never will. But as long as you're looking at that as them and looking at the award as a validation of your music, you've lost the beauty and the spirit of Afrobeat. And you don't deserve to be called an Afrobeat artist. Because with Afrobeat is a cultural expression. It's a spirit of the African ancestry that make up Afrobeat. Afrobeat is not like any other music genre. It's not just a music genre for entertainment. There's a spiritual element into it. Yes, we know there's a business part of it, but there's a spiritual awakening with Afrobeat. And when you hand it over to an institution who only monetizes everything, they don't care about your ancestral roots, they don't care about all that. They only care about the money part. That's what you're going to get. So this should be a wake-up call for Nigerians. This should be a wake-up call for Africa. This should be a wake-up call for you to begin focusing on developing your own. The West have done theirs. That's their thing. Grammys is their thing. And they can do whatever they want to do with it. You've got a music genre that you built. you need to find the opportunity to maximize the opportunity with that. The award show, the merchandising, the artistry, the movie production, you need to maximize it. This is your opportunity to maximize it and not hand it over to the West. Because the moment you do that, right, you're playing to that. And that will not serve you or your generation well. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like the video, share this content, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Det finns ingen annan där som kan stå här by my side, oh why. Sättet du rör på det får mig att dö för det, baby. För de här yardis, de vill ju bara dra ner oss. Men du är fett och vanlig. På det jag lägger all min tid och jag vill ha det. Du får mig känna safety. Jag kan nog leda, baby. Och jag kommer aldrig ändra mig.